Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I will be introducing you to the Postgres in operator. The in operator basically allows you to specify multiple values inside a where clause. So when you use the in operator, you can basically check against a list of values specified in the where clause. There are several ways you can specify that, but you must specify the in operator inside the where clause. So let's have a look at a couple of syntax. The first is this. So you specify the in operator inside the where clause. You can see this is the in operator here, and it is specified inside the where clause. So you start with the select statement followed by the name of the column if you're specifying column names, then the table, and then the where clause. Within the where clause is where you specify, for example, maybe the column name, and then you use the in operator, and then you must place the values you're trying to check against. They must be placed in parentheses here. So another way you can specify it is this way, where you specify obviously the column names, the table, and the where clause. And inside the where clause, you specify the column name and then use the in operator, and then you use the select statement as the parameter. So the values inside the select statement is what you are checking against. The best way to see this is in action is to actually show you how it works. So let's go over to the PG admin tool and see how this works. So I have connected to my PG admin 4 tool here, and these are the tables from the DVD rental database. The DVD rental database is a sample database we are using for this illustration. So it has 15 tables, and the table I am going to use here is one called rental, this table here. So I'm just going to expand that so you can see all the columns within that table. So these are the columns from this table called rental. So let me open the query tool by right-clicking on the table and clicking on query tool, and that will launch the tool we can use to query the table. Right, I don't want to query all the dates, all the columns from this table. I'm going to be specific here. So I'm going to select the custom ID, the rental ID, and the return date. So those are the three columns I'm going to use. So let me start the query. I'll start by typing in select, followed by the column names, and I'll separate each column name by a comma. Note, you don't have to have all the column names on the same line. You can have them on separate lines, but separate each one by a comma if you wish to. That will obviously make your query longer. So I'm just going to type in customer ID. You must specify the column names the way they have specified in the table. So I'll do a comma to add another column. So it will be rental underscore ID, which is this one here. And I put a comma to add another column. And the other column I want to add is the return underscore date. Return underscore date. I don't need to put a comma because that's the last column. So, but it is possible to have these columns on separate lines after the select keyword, and then just put a comma on each one apart from the last one if you wish to do that. But writing it this way makes the query much shorter. So next, I need to specify the table the information is coming from. So it's coming from the rental table. This table here is called the rental. Next, I need to add my where clause. The where clause will act as the filter. So this is where I specify the condition to use with the where clause. So I'm going to use the customer ID column. I'm going to say customer ID customer underscore ID, and then this is where I add the in clause. I'm going to say in. So anywhere we're going to look for any one that has customer ID 1 or customer ID 2. So the in operator here is checking against these two variables. It will check if the customer ID is 1 or if the customer ID is 2. Any that matches these two criteria, it will return the data. So let's execute that. What we can also do, we can order the data. Let me add an order by. Order by is usually the last you add in a select statement. So I'll do order by, and I'm going to order by the return date, which is this column here. And I'm going to make it in a descending order. Okay. Actually, no. Let's make it in ascending order. Ascending means it will return it from A to Z. So that's it. Let's execute the query. I click on this and the query. Ooh, I've got an error. Okay, syntax near rental. Oh, I don't know if you can spot the error there. It tells you, see the dotted line, it tells me where I've made the error. It's in my from. I need to adjust that and put in F. You can see it should work now. So if I click execute again, excellent. So it tells me 59 rows retrieved. So you can see here, I've ordered it by return date. This is the return date in ascending order, and that is from A to Z. So this is the way it has returned it. And the condition here is that any customer ID that matches 1 or 2, it will return the rental ID and it will return the return date. So the in operator here, you can use it to specify multiple values. I've only got 2 values in there. I could easily have 20 or even 100 values in there, and it will check against those values are placed between the parentheses here and return the data. So basically that's how you use the in operator. It makes it easy to return data if you just want to check against certain criteria. If I wanted to amend this data, for example, I can change from the where clause, I can change it to rental ID. If I wanted to say, for example, let me just amend this a little bit. I'll say rental underscore ID, and inside this rental ID, let me put a few values in here. I'm going to select, say, 320, comma. You have to separate each value with a comma, and I'll put in 76, comma. I put in, say, 2128, this value here, 2128. And let me pick this one, 5636, comma, 5636. And I'll change the order by, I'm going to order by, say, I'll leave it order by return date, but this time I'll change that to descending. That is from Z to A. So the data that's going to be returned by this query will be much shorter, because it's only going to target 1, 2, 3, 4 values. So it will search on that rental ID. If any of these IDs it finds, it will return the data for these columns that I have specified. So let me execute. I go that, click on that. As you can see, it's returned only 4 rows. The reason being there are only 4 values in there for it to check, and the values I have specified are unique values, so they are not duplicate, hence the reduced rows it has returned for the conditions here. So that's how you use the in operator. You can use it in combination with the where clause to filter data returned by a select statement. Many thanks for watching. Very important that you place the values in between parentheses, and you must separate each of the values with a comma, as I've done here. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.